Hi, I'm Emma from Barre Body. This is Matt. Today's video, we're going to do some yoga for inflexible dudes. I have brought with me my very own inflexible dude to help demonstrate some of these postures. So the first one we're going to do, I want you to stand at the front of your mat, feet hip distance apart, and you're just going to fold forward and take hold of your elbows and hang down. This is called Uttanasana. So most guys are super tight in their hamstrings, so this is going to be a really good exercise. We'll stay here for a little while. It's a good one to start to loosen up the hamstrings. So what I want you to do is think about shifting the weight of your hips forward, bringing them closer to over the heel. So what tends to happen is you will sink backwards. I want you to bring them forward. Lean a little bit into your toes. So rather than weight in the heels, weight into the toes. Start to think about engaging your quadriceps by drawing the kneecaps up toward the hamstrings. If you can, start to work the legs towards straight because you are an inflexible dude if you're watching this. Your hamstrings are probably quite tight, so it's okay to keep them bent. But we actually stay here for quite a while. What I want you to do now, Matt, is start to breathe. Well, continue to breathe, I hope, but start to really focus on your exhalation. So when you exhale, just think about releasing and softening into the posture a little bit. So remembering we're leaning into those toes, release the neck and just hang down. So it's a really passive posture. The weight of your upper body is doing all of the work for you here. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Big inhale and exhale. Last one, big inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, I want you to come halfway up, bring your hands onto the waist, inhale, halfway up, flatten through the back, exhale here, and then inhale, come all the way up to standing. The next posture we're going to do, I want you to step your left foot back. We're going to come into a warrior. So step your left foot back. Now, what we're doing here is our front toes are pointing forward, bend the knee over the toes, have a look at your back foot and make sure that the heel is slightly further back than the toe. Let's reach the arms out. Good. Sink down a little lower for me here. I want you to step out your left foot a little further. We want to make sure that this knee isn't coming in front of the ankle. Yes, good. Sink a little lower for me, maybe a little wider stance. So step out a little bit wider for me here. Sink down a little lower. Ultimately, this posture is a great combination of flexibility and strength. Ultimately, we're trying to bring this thigh parallel to the floor. It's quite strong. So you'll be feeling a nice strong stretch through the inner seam of the back leg and into the groins here. So sink a little bit lower for me. That's beautiful. So your back leg is nice and strong. How are you feeling that? Okay. So your back leg is nice and strong. I want you to slightly rotate the thigh, yes, open it up. So you're going to rotate this inner thigh outwards. Good. Strong back leg. Back heel presses into the mat. Fingers are extending and shoulders are spreading down away from the ears. Beautiful. Let's take 1 more breath here. Big inhale. And exhale. Let's step forward to the front of the mat again. Inhale. Good. We're going to come into downward dog now. A really great pose, one that the guys find really hard. So to come to your downward dog, I just want you to step your right foot back, come down to a lunge, and then step your left foot back to downward dog. Good. Downward dog rather than your plank. So come up to your downward dog. So downward dog is essentially, just think about a triangle shape where the bottom, where your mat is the base of the triangle and your body forms the top of the triangle. So Matt, I'm going to get you to walk your feet back a little bit. Good. Think about lifting your hips high and pressing your heels down at the same time. Again, engage those knees. So draw the kneecaps up to engage the quadriceps. Good. Think about pressing the heels down at the same time. So your heels are pressing one way and your hips are pressing the other way. So it's like a traction along the backs of the legs. Now, inflexible dude right here, knees are bent. So his downward dog's actually looking pretty good for an inflexible guy. What I want you to start working towards is pressing the backs of the legs away a little bit. It's okay to be bent in the knees, but we're working towards straightening them. Now I want you to imagine that you're releasing and spreading your shoulders. Let's turn your hands very slightly out. I want the index finger to be pointing other way, the index finger to be pointing forward. Spread those fingers, they're your base of support. Again, spread the shoulders. Now, I want you to imagine that you're pressing your chest through, beautiful, through the shoulders toward the front of the thighs. And I'm going to pull everything back. So you probably don't have me there pulling you back and adjusting you in this pose. So I want you to think about pressing everything backwards. Beautiful. That's your downward dog. From downward dog, we're going to come back through that low lunge, because the low lunge is another really great stretch for the guys. So Matt, I want you to step your right foot forward. Now you might need to take a couple of steps to get there. That's totally fine. Step the foot between the hands. Let's drop the back knee and come down into our low lunge here. So same thing as with our warrior. Make sure the knee isn't coming in front of the ankle. So step it out a little bit further. Step it out, further, further, further. Good. Now sink down, and we want to, again, this is a nice stretch for the hip flexor, so I want you to soften down here. Lift the chest a little bit. Good. And deepen the breath. Let's step that foot out just a teeny tiny bit further. Good. And really try and use that exhalation to soften down into this stretch. Tuck your back toes under. You're going to push yourself back to the downward dog. And then changing sides, stepping the left leg forward. Sink down nice and low for me. Step the foot out, so back knee comes down. Again, making sure the knee isn't coming in front of the ankle. Good. Further, further, further. Good. And sink down. Are you feeling a stretch here?
I am.
Yes. Okay, good. Excellent. So just breathe. Again, use the exhalation to soften into the posture. We'll take one more breath here, and then tuck your back toes under for me, Matt, and step back to your downward dog. Hips lift high, heels press down, kneecaps drawing up toward the hips, backs of the legs press away, so quads are nice and engaged. If you've got someone who can adjust you, get them to stand where I'm standing and press your hips down and back, or press them backwards. And chest presses through the shoulders toward the front of the thighs. And from there, Matt, I want you to step forward. We're going to take our forward fold again, Uttanasana. Step forward to your hands and take the elbows again. And just feel, so step forward, holding onto the elbows, leaning into the toes again. I want you to try and straighten your legs a little bit more. Now really bring the weight of the hips forward. More. And relax. Good. So you're leaning too far back. I want you to lean. Yes, beautiful. Lean forward. You're not going to fall over. I won't let you. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Come halfway up. Halfway up. Hands on the waist. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. And exhale. You are done. Well done, Matt. Thanks very much. So yoga for inflexible dudes. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you try and do that every day, you'll really start to improve your flexibility. Thank you so much.